Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing good. I can hear you all. Hope everyone can hear me and understand everything that's going on. How's everything? Um, Today was an interesting day. A very interesting day, right? So, so let's look at the what's going on. Let's look at the videos that are happening. Let me go because the camera's on, so I won't be able to move anywhere else. So you just gotta deal with it for a little bit. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's start right away into the program and show you what's happening, right? So let me show you what's happening. A lot of controversy. The biggest thing happening in New York right now, people are really making a big deal about this. Let's listen and watch.
How you accomplish this? You good? You okay? How you doing?
This has caused a major stir in the media, right? A lot of people are upset about it. A lot of people are really upset about what's happening and how the public responded to the New York Police Department. Respond. It was but it was a scheduled. It was a scheduled, pretty much a scheduled event that was supposed to happen, right? That's all it was. It was a scheduled event. It was pretty much a scheduled event. Let me see something. So it was just a scheduled event that was happening across the board. People were supposed to be responding to the police. There was somebody called and said that there was people climbing on the roof in the park, but this was a scheduled event at 4 o'clock, and it was a publicly posted event that people were gonna have a snowball fight in the park, right? And so the police showed up. It seems like they set them up. Um, so they were set up to. They were set up for this. And that was something that pretty much reverberated across the whole area, right? So let's watch some more. Let's watch some more things that happened yesterday. Since last time I saw you, let's talk about it. Okay, so this is a scene from a movie, a show, right? Something similar happened inside the show.
It's water, my dude. Yo,
Blue Bloods.
what the hell do you think you're doing, you stupid dick?
It's just water, right? No, it's much better.
Hey, bro, what? Come on, man. You only got Ryder. Would you take him away from me?
You just saw a cell phone video that shows Sergeant Jameson Reagan, the youngest son of Police Commissioner Frank Reagan, as he throws water on an unarmed suspect, Renzo Williams, who is now claiming police brutality.
Well, let's talk about what really happened, Sergeant.
Lieutenant, was my arrest within department guidelines?
Absolutely. The arrest was, your actions were not. You have effectively changed the narrative from cops under attack to the opposite.
That video doesn't show what happened right before that.
Which is why cops are expected to show restraint.
There was no physical harm done.
You brought harm to this department.
By standing up for my cops?
Is that what you think you were doing?
Those cops walked away this morning because they were afraid of backlash, Commissioner.
So you created even more backlash?
I sent a message that it's not okay to assault cops.
It's not okay to assault perps either.
I stand by my actions.
You're dismissed.
Man, you can't arrest me for throwing water on no scum. It's just water, my dude. Yo. What the hell do you think you're doing, you stupid dick?
So it seems to be a catch-22, right? It's a catch-22. How do you address these situations in New York City? How do you address these situations that's the question. How do you address this? There's different ways to address it, and they're saying it wasn't the right way to address it, right? And these were other situations that happened.
Oh, shit.
And it looked like this was the precinct, and they pretty much were did a they pretty much pranked the police officer, and that was his reaction. He was upset. So the snow was pretty bad. They said that there were some officers that were injured as a result of what happened. So yeah, so some people are upset about Zoran's response. They're saying that he should have not been saying that he should be saying what he was saying. He should have not said stood by the police. But I mean, it's like a catch-22. No one should be injured. No one should be injured. Believe it or not. We shouldn't be. And this is another incident that happened in Atlanta. She didn't take it that badly, right? This was in Atlanta. She took it pretty well, right? And this is another incident that happened during
traffic
Eric
agents, police officers, correction officers, those who wear uniforms, they're not the individuals. They are symbols of our stability. And when you have clowns like that think they can spray a person who's doing their job with a fire extinguisher, we're going to do everything that's possible to catch them. It's not only disrespectful to a civil servant, but it is an attack on the foundation of our city. It's not a joke. It's not funny. Traffic agents, police officers, correction officers.
So, are the two situations comparable? That's my question. Are the two scenarios the same? And some people are saying that the New York City, the snow was cleared in record time. There's still some areas that haven't been cleared, but for the most part, we got a good cleanup of the snow. This was the example of
Una de
de
las
Blasio.
tormentas de nieve más grandes de los últimos años está aquí y estamos en estado de emergencia. Los viajes no esenciales están prohibidos y solo se puede transitar en casos de emergencia o si es realmente necesario. Una de las tormentas de nieve más grandes de los últimos años está aquí y estamos en estado de emergencia. Los viajes no esenciales están prohibidos y solo se puede transitar.
So Zoran is doing a good job compared to the former mayors. And the shoveling program, I gotta say, was not him. The shoveling program was not him. He didn't come up with the shoveling program. He didn't do that, right? It wasn't him. So this is something that a lot of people found interesting. De Blasio was speaking Spanish, and a lot of people were upset by this, by a mayor speaking Spanish, celebrating a whole system. Right? So let's go over to the next video, which is, this was the big snow.
Will be restricted on New York City roads until 6 a.m. tomorrow, February 2nd, except for essential and emergency travel. Near blizzard conditions are expected. We haven't seen a travel ban like this since the 2016 nor'easter. In the meantime, feel free to go outside, take a walk, enjoy the weather, but stay off the roads. I took Lucy out for a walk this morning and she's enjoying the powder. Stay safe, everybody. This just in, Mayor Bill de Blasio has issued a state of emergency for New York City due to the winter storm. This means that all vehicles will be restricted on New York City roads until 6.
And you saw this? De Blasio banned all travel, and it was way less snow, way less snow, right? It was way less snow, and he banned vehicles, and people criticizing Zoran for doing this. They pretty much criticizing Zoran for everything he does. All right, let's see. Let me. Okay. So let's move over to international politics. Trump is right now in heat, right? Because he's pretty much
Why would we
attacking
do
Zoran.
this? And they walk in, nobody even asks for, like, do you have an identification? Do you have an ID? It's so crazy. You know, the mayor of New York, and he's a very nice person. I met him, but his ideology is not too good. But we're having a massive snowstorm right now. And I heard that he's asked people to come out and help shovel the snow. Okay, so you get a shovel and you start shoveling, right? What the hell? You're not going to help too much, but you can help. And hello, darling, how are you? Noah, right behind you, look. My friend, right? Are you okay? Yes, you. Are you okay? Are you okay? Good. Good. Are your eyes okay? I gave her money to get her eyes fixed. A lot of money to get her eyes fixed. That doctor ripped me off, but that's okay. And when do you go?
Interesting. I don't know what's going on.
Will you get them done?
I have no idea what's that interaction about. And that segue is, we're gonna segue into the State of the Union. AOC said that she's not gonna attend the they're not gonna attend the State of the Union. Like AOC said, she's not gonna attend the State of the Union. Right? And some of the so what do you think? Let's see. This was a controversial part of it all. The remarks that were made with Huckabee.
A place and a purpose. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee has sparked outrage over comments made during an interview with American.
Israel is a land that God gave through Abraham to a people that he chose. It was a people, a place, and a purpose.
U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee has sparked outrage over comments made during an interview with American commentator Tucker Carlson.
I'm not going to let you off on this because you have said it 3 times that God gave this land to this people. And so it is entirely fair for me with respect to ask, what land are you talking about? Because I just read Genesis 15, as I have many times. And that land, I think it says, from the Nile to the Euphrates, which is, once again, basically the entire Middle East. So God gave that land to his people, the Jews, or he didn't. You're saying he did. What does that mean? Does Israel have the right to that land? Because you're appealing to Genesis. You're saying that's the original deed.
It would be fine if they took it all.
Huckabee also called Area C in the occupied West Bank, where repeated settler attacks have forced much of the Palestinian population to flee, part of Israel.
So they're moving all these Americans, people from around the world, into settlements subsidized by Americans in the West Bank.
No, they're not moving them from around the world to the settlements. They're people who make Aliyah. They come.
I'm just saying,
these are Israelis who live in Israel.
Well, there are a lot of people.
And Area C is Israel.
Okay.
Several Arab countries have responded by denouncing Huckabee's statement as reckless, provocative, and irresponsible. But they aren't new. In June, the ambassador told Bloomberg News that a Palestinian state in the occupied West Bank is no longer a U.S. policy goal, and that Israel's Muslim neighbors could give up their land instead to create one. The ambassador's apparent disregard for regional sovereignty did not stop there. He also listed several neighboring countries, many of them close U.S. allies, as fronts in Israel's regional war.
I keep hearing Israel's fighting a 7-front war. What are those 7 fronts?
Well, you got Lebanon. You have Egypt. Now, Egypt is not an active war, but you have the Muslim Brotherhood within Egypt. You've got the Muslim Brotherhood in Jordan. You've got Syria.
Wait, they're fighting a war with Jordan?
With the Muslim Brotherhood that is in Jordan, not directly with Jordan, not the government of Jordan.
But are they...
You've got Hezbollah, Houthis.
In Yemen.
You have Hamas in Gaza. You have the threats that come from Iran.
But Huckabee did have praise for one country.
One place is an exception is the Emiratis, and I love those folks because they are so progressive, but they're really trying to do things that are beyond what anyone else in the region. They change their textbooks. They teach that Israel is not a nation they should hate or seek to annihilate.
His apparent disregard for the sovereignty of existing countries in the region, including Palestinian rights to statehood, has alarmed several Arab states and U.S. allies. It marks yet another step in which U.S. policy seems to be increasingly out of line with its Arab neighbors and increasingly deferent to Israel's government.
Israel is a land that God gave through Abraham to a people that he chose. It was a people, a place, and a purpose.
U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee has sparked outrage over comments.
So, pretty much Trump is hosting a peace summit, but he's not willing to. He's saying that pretty much the whole area should be owned by Israel. The whole Middle East belongs to Israel. So this is a little bizarre for some people. And the Trump administration has apologized also. But I don't know if they mean the apology. Back to the snow thing, right? Let's listen to the way one of the famous podcasters.
Look at this. This is the side of. Give me some volume on this. Listen to this. This fight over the SAVE Act is turning into a full-blown battle over the meaning of democracy itself. Democrats are calling it Jim Crow 2, arguing that stricter voter registration requirements like proof of citizenship are designed to make it so difficult that millions of Americans, especially poor and minority voters, effectively lose access to the ballot box. They say Republicans are systematically trying to undo voting protections and suppress turnout, and they're promising to fight it in court and through legislation. But critics say there's a glaring contradiction unfolding in New York City. After facing backlash over snowstorms that left streets buried for weeks, garbage piling up, and accusations of mismanaging emergency response, Socialist Mayor Zoran Mom. The catch? To shovel snow, you need 2 forms of ID: copies, photos, and a social security card. That's sparked outrage from conservatives who argue it's now harder to shovel snow than supporters say it's basic employment verification. Opponents say it exposes a double standard. In the end, this isn't just about snowstorms or voter rolls. It's about power, policy, and who gets to define what democracy really means. Look at this. This is the side of, give me some volume on this. Listen to this. This fight over the SAVE Act is
This is the big fight right now. The voter rolls, right? The purging and removal of the voter rolls. I don't think it's the same thing what Zoran Mandamni is doing and what the Republicans are trying to do. I don't think it's the same thing. I believe that it's not the same. The problem is that it's a different situation. The city's just following the law, and I don't think it's a good thing to eliminate the laws when you want them to apply, right? The federal law is that you don't need a ID, and the reason why they put that in there is because in the past there have been ways to not let people vote of a certain race. They will always say that black people, Hispanic people, their ID was invalid and they wouldn't allow them to vote. So excluding people to vote is something that's difficult to do without it being abused, right? So people are so concerned about, right? Some people are so concerned about everything that's happening, right? About what's happening in society. Let me adjust the camera for Instagram. Instagram is a lot different, right? Everyone's concerned.
With basically Jim Crow levels of racism. And this is what we get from our chancellor in relation to this. I don't know who advised him to give out this neutral statement when we are dealing with real anti-Black harm. And I know some people are going to say, at least he made a statement. At least he said something. This is the bare minimum of what could have been said. Why do we as Black people always have to accept the bare minimum? Everyone should be calling out anti-Black racism when they see it, especially during Black History Month. Especially because...
So this was the statement.
Friday. He delivers lessons and helps us fit those skills into our lessons.
Black schools that like they're
They're
too dumb to know they're in a bad school.
Independent in our class.
I mean, apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like if you train a Black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You've got to stop.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Me and many other students in our class.
And the problem is that there was a student presenting, right, regarding Black History Month, speaking about, and this is the response she got, right? This was like so disrespectful. This happened in Queens, not in Queens, in Manhattan. This happened in Manhattan. And this is a biology professor speaking this way, right? This is a biology professor speaking this way. So what do you think? So if people are worried about Jim Crow, they only worry about the Jim Crow they want to worry about, right? This is last
That's your
year's
warning.
State of the Union. This was last year's State of the Union. Let's watch it.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat.
The State of the
Take
Union
your seat,
was
sir.
rowdy.
Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut me.
So he was removed, right? He was removed. And this year, some of them are saying they're going to boycott and some people are saying they're going to boycott and Let's see what happens. This is
I think it's going to be a great
Johnson's
celebration for our side. I think
point
the
of view.
admonition for decorum is to the other team. You saw the antics that they put on display, the Democrats, during the last State of the Union. I had to actually eject
Republicans
someone.
over the years have been known to perform their own bits of antics and
at every turn, I have encouraged my colleagues to maintain decorum and the dignity of the office. I think it's important for the institution and for the American people to see. I think what we should put on display tonight, I told my colleagues this morning, is what the USA hockey teams did in the Olympics. We play for one team. We're all for America. I think it's detestable that members would boycott the speech. We've never done that. It doesn't matter if there's a Democrat president. You go and respect the office. You respect the decorum, the institution, the tradition of having had this speech made. And it's sad to me that Democrats are choosing to opt out of that. I think it's going to be a great celebration for our side. I think the admonition for decorum is to the other team. You saw the antics that they put on display, the Democrats, during the last State of the Union. I had to actually eject
Republicans
someone.
over the years have been known to perform their own bits of antics.
So let's see what happens. I mean, Jeffrey said that he would show up. But people like AOC said they definitely not going to show up. Like the progressive wing is saying they probably won't show up at all to the event. What do you think? Should the Democrats show up and show decorum and peace like other State of the Unions, or are we not in normal times? The voters in the Democratic Party have been disgusted at everything that's going on with Trump and the Democrats. So would this be a time to show that they stand with the 60% of American people that disapprove with Donald Trump's point of view? I mean, there's like about 80% of Republicans that agree with Trump. But there's also a lot of people that don't agree with him or his positions on certain issues, including immigration, on the Supreme Court, on the way he's running the economy, on the way his campaign promises that he's not keeping. So, you tell me, what do you think? Should the Democrats boycott the whole speech? The speech is tonight. What do you think, people? Should he boycott it, or should the Democrats be there? That's the question. That's the spiel that we're listening. Should we be there? Some of them saying that they're going to try to do something that's the same. They're going to bring guests that would draw attention to certain issues, like the high school student that was captured by immigration and was transferred from facility to facility. Some people say just boycott, just don't show up. As far as the progressive, the left wing of the party, it's really seriously considering not showing up. And AOC pointed out that she has not been to a program that the president hosted since 2020. She boycotted Biden's speeches also. She boycotted Trump's speeches also. She just doesn't attend. So, what do you think? Should people play nice and show up, or should they just not show up? I mean, what's your point of view? What's your perspective? Is this double speak? Let's listen to Johnson again. It sounds like double speak. He was in one video he was removing Al Green for not adhering to decorum, and now he's saying everyone should be there, even if they don't want to be there. So let's listen to it again.
And at every turn, I have encouraged my colleagues to maintain decorum and the dignity of the office. I think it's important for the institution and for the American people to see. I think what we should put on display tonight, I told my colleagues this morning, as what the USA hockey teams did in the Olympics. We play for one team. We're all for America. I think it's detestable that members would boycott the speech. We've never done that. It doesn't matter if there's a Democrat president. You go and respect the office. You respect the decorum, the institution, the tradition of having had this speech made. And it's sad to me that Democrats are choosing to opt out of that. I think it's going to be a great celebration for our side. I think the admonition for decorum is to the other team. You saw the antics that they put on display, the Democrats, during the last State of the Union. I had to actually
Republicans
eject someone.
over the years have been known.
And the thing about decorum is that there's been more than 1,000 court orders that have been ignored, right? There's over 1,000 court orders that have been ignored by the Trump administration. They haven't respected the Democrats. They investigated 6 Democrats for telling soldiers to disobey unlawful orders, right? Investigations were launched against them. 6 of them were under investigation. And they tried to bring charges against them in front of a grand jury. And the charges were dropped by the grand jury. So think about it. The Kennedy Center, the name was changed without any consultation to Congress. The boat strikes in the Latin America, the embargoing of Cuba, the buildup of military weapons in the Middle East, all types of breaches of protocol and law. So why should the Democrats keep playing by the same rules? They should show that they're serious about opposing those things that hurt the American people, right? They call for law and order, right? When it comes to snow and asking for ID for shoveling snow, they want law and order, right? But when it comes to them following the laws, they have issues with following the law, right? So you can't have it both ways, right? You can't have it both ways. That's the thing. You can't have it both ways. You either follow the law or you don't follow the law. I want to watch the videos about the snow, right? I want to watch the snow video one more time. This is kind of like what this guy Tallarico is talking about, but I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant about Tallarico.
Just like pushing for class warfare.
In Texas.
We already have class warfare in this country. It's the billionaires waging war against the rest of us. And right now, the billionaires are winning. They've been winning for 50 years. Trickle-down economics is not a theory, it is theft. For 50 years, the billionaires have been stealing from the American people, stealing the wealth that we created. It's why everyone is so angry right now.
I like what he's saying, but the problem is that I want to see the plan. I want to see the plan. I want to see what he's actually going to do and what his plan to counter this, to not allow the billionaires to take over the country. What is his plan? Is he willing to tax the rich? Is he willing to stand up to rich people? Like in New York, Kathy Hochul refuses to tax the rich. Is he going to do something to make sure that the rich pay their fair share? Or is he going to give them a big tax cut like Donald Trump gave to the rich across the nation? One thing about Talarico is that he has refused to say that what's happening in Israel is a genocide. He has refused to say that. He has refused to use those words. So a lot of people are criticizing him for that, right? A lot of people are criticizing him for that because he has refused to, so the left has gone really hard on him, right? For that. This is the problem, that I'm blending all these topics together because the problem is that people see, they see Zoran as a superhero, like he could solve every problem that there is out there. They think that the left could solve every problem, but you got to show me your plan. Show me your solid steps you're going to take to...
For the Coney Island Business Improvement District, and I would like to invite council members.
Why is everyone clapping? Why are you so mad? It's just the mayor. He's announcing a business improvement district down here in Coney Island. It's kind of cool.
Really? You're one of those?
You don't like the mayor?
He's fine, but what has he done for me lately?
The rental rip-off hearings? You get to stand up to your landlord?
The rental whip-off hearings? You know how young you sound? Besides, I am a slumlord.
Did not know that.
It's my side hustle. It's a dishonest living, to be sure, but at least I get to make people's lives miserable.
For universal childcare? That's a good one?
I'm not really father material.
Yeah,
I'm more of a bunkle.
Bad uncle?
Bad uncle, yeah.
I get that.
What has he done for me?
Like you specifically?
Me only. Me and nobody else.
What has Zoran Mamdani done for you and only you?
Is that dumb to ask?
Kinda, yeah.
Sliwa made me an omelet.
When?
Not yet, but I'm pretty hopeful that he has access to eggs and scallions.
Weird omelet, right? Just eggs and scallions?
And if he can't find eggs, that's fine.
So just scallions. How about the bike bump? He fixed the bike bump on the Williamsburg Bridge.
Yeah,
That's
for
pretty
me
good.
and everyone else. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me.
What, you want him to give you a ride to the airport or something?
Or the Heimlich.
Maneuver?
Yes, maneuver.
Like as in you're choking and he gives you the Heimlich maneuver?
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Yes, it is. What's in there? Why do you have that?
You know I keep that mother thang on me.
Yeah, a lot of lint on there, buddy.
That thang's been thanging in there for a month.
Cool, don't eat it. Stop choking. Oh, God, come on. Oh, come on, man. What if he doesn't come?
If he doesn't come, he's not my mayor. Go on!
I can't hear you. He's far. No way.
Oh.
Chew longer, New Yorker.
Wow. Bet you like him now.
I kind of think buses should be expensive.
It is my honor to sign the certificate of incorporation.
This is what's happening, right? People want a superhero to come and help everything, fix everything. And what we need is that people that are bold and are willing to stand up to the forces in our system that don't want to stop the powers to be. We need people that are going to stand up. That's what we need. We need people that are going to stand up for everyone and everything that is good for our society. Even if there's resistance, even if there's a fight, even if there's people that don't like this, there's going to be all these entities that are stacking up and willing to bet everything on stopping a 2% tax. They don't want it. They're trying to stop him, and he gets more and more popular the more they try to stop him. The more they try to stop him, the more popular he's getting, right? The more popular he's getting, the more they tax him, right?
Why would Donald Trump announce in front of the Board of Peace that he likes young women? This is totally insane.
But I was very proud of it. President Pena of Paraguay is here. President, President, thank you very much. Young, handsome guy. It's always nice to be young and handsome. Doesn't mean we have to like you. I don't like young, handsome men. Women, it's I like. Men know how to have any interest. Good. That's right. That's right. Thank you very much. You're doing a great job, too.
I wonder what you Trump support.
So the elite, the rich, get away with whatever they want, right? They will resist any plan that he has for us. He will resist, right? They will resist anything and everything that he has planned, right? They would love to resist everything. They are making it impossible. So when they criticize, they're criticizing Zoran real bad because of the whole snow thing. Let me show you one more time. The video, the original video I started with. So no matter how he responds to the snow and what happened to the police, they're gonna not find it. They're not gonna find it
How you accomplish mission? You good? You okay? Let's do it.
I really had to think about it, right? I really had to think about how to respond to this, right? I really had to think about how to respond to this in, you know, what would be the appropriate way of of Zoran, what would be the right way for Zoran to respond to this? What would be his appropriate response? No one will be happy, but what I do know is that NYPD relations with the police and the community has to be rebuilt from the ground up. There has been friction and miscommunication and not getting along between the community and the police department has been at an all-time high tension. So this has to be built up, that trust and that community building has to be redone, right? There hasn't been good community building for a very long time. There hasn't been community policing for a very long time. There hasn't been dedication to communication and to actually listen to the community and actually allowing the community to have input into policing and to have community policing, that they follow the Constitution, they follow people's human dignity and respect, and then they'll get respect in return because people can trust them, right? And that's the biggest issue with allowing immigration, allowing ICE not to follow any type of protocols, because when they break the protocols, it make people feel uncomfortable and they show so much aggression towards the public, then the public in return does not trust any type of police officers. That's the problem. And this makes people nervous being around police instead of what people were taught earlier, which was that they should be, you trust a person in uniform, you trust a person in a badge. Now, instead, you have to teach your brown and children of color that you should be careful with police. You should be careful with people in uniforms. You should be careful what they should do or how they shouldn't cooperate or give any information to anyone that's asking them too many questions. It doesn't matter if they have a badge or a uniform, especially with immigration, the way they've been conducting themselves in New York City and across the nation. This hurts community policing across the board. And a lot of the sheriffs that were reuniting themselves in a big national meeting, they said the same thing. They felt like the trust between the community and the society and the police was broken for a very long time, right? Very broken for a very long time. So the mutual respect and love for each other has deteriorated. There's not a lot of love and respect for each other. This has to be rebuilt from the ground up. I don't know what's gonna take. So happy snow day. Happy snow day to everyone. This is how much snow there is in New York. This is the snow in New York. Let me show you the snow in New York. I gotta stop clicking that so hard. I click on my keyboard so hard. To add it to the screen. Some people say it's AI. I don't know. Was it that much snow? It looks like too much snow, right? What do you think, everyone?
Man, you can't arrest me for throwing water on no scum.
So are you gonna watch the State of the Union? Write it in the comments. Are you gonna enjoy the, what are you gonna do? That's what I want to know. Put it in your comments below. Share, follow, and make this podcast popular. Put your comments below. Share it as much as possible and send it to as many people as you can. And follow, definitely follow. Thank you, everyone. I'm reaching the 1 hour mark, and I appreciate you all. There's a lot of things happening politically, but we're gonna get through this, people. Keep it positive and keep it up. All right. Have a good day. And NYPD, snow, and the State of the Union. That was the topic for today, and tomorrow will be a new topic. Thank you for coming on and sharing. Have a good night.